Hey, I'm down here. I just don't want to move. How to be miserable. In my younger days, dodging the draft, I somehow wound up in the Marine Corps. Oh. There's a myth that Marine training turns babyface recruits into bloodthirsty killers. Trust me, the Marine Corps is not that efficient. What it does teach, however, is a lot more useful. The Marine Corps teaches you how to be miserable. Mm, This is invaluable for an artist. Marines love to be miserable. Marines derive a perverse satisfaction from having colder chow, crappier equipment, and higher casualty rates than any outfit of dog faces, swab jockeys, or flyboys, all of whom they despise. Why? Because these candy asses don't know how to be miserable. The artist, committing himself to his calling, has volunteered for hell, whether he knows it or not. He will be dining for the duration on a diet of isolation, rejection, self-doubt, despair, ridicule, contempt, and humiliation. The artist must be like that Marine. He has to know how to be miserable. He has to love being miserable. He has to take pride in being more miserable than any soldier or swabby or jet jockey, because this is war, baby, and war is hell. We're all pros already. All of us are pros in one area. Our jobs. We get a paycheck, we work for money, we are professionals. Now, are there principles we can take from what we're already successfully doing in our workday lives and apply to our artistic aspirations? What exactly are the qualities that define us as professionals? One, we show up every day. We might do it only because we have to keep from getting fired, but we do it. We show up every day. Two, we show up no matter what. In sickness and in health, come hell or high water, we stagger into the factory. We might do it only so as not to let down our co-workers or for other less noble reasons, but we do it. We show up no matter what. 3. We stay on the job all day. Our minds may wander, but our bodies remain at the wheel. We pick up the phone when it rings. We assist the customer when he seeks our help. We don't go home till the whistle blows. 4. We are committed over the long haul. Next year we may go to another job, another company, another country, but we'll still be working. Until we hit the lottery, we are part of the labor force. 5. The stakes for us are high and real. This is about survival, feeding our families, educating our children. It's about eating. 6. We accept remuneration for our labor. We're not here for fun. We work for money. 7. We do not over-identify with our jobs. We may take pride in our work. We may stay late and come in on weekends, but we recognize that we are not our job descriptions. The amateur, on the other hand, over-identifies with his avocation, his artistic aspiration. He defines himself by it. He is a musician, a painter, a playwright. Resistance loves this. Resistance knows that the amateur composer will never write his symphony because he is overly invested in its success and over-terrified of its failure. The amateur takes it so seriously, it paralyzes him. 8. We master the technique of our jobs. 9. We have a sense of humor about our jobs. 10. We receive praise or blame in the real world. Now consider the amateur, the aspiring painter, the wannabe playwright. How does he pursue his calling? 1. He doesn't show up every day. 2. He doesn't show up no matter what. 3. He doesn't stay on the job all day. He's not committed over the long haul. The stakes for him are illusory and fake. He does not get money, and he over-identifies with his art. He does not have a sense of humor about failure. You don't hear him bitching, "This fucking trilogy is killing me." Instead, he doesn't write his trilogy at all. The amateur has not mastered the technique of his art, nor does he expose himself to judgment in the real world. If we show our poem to our friend and our friend says, "It's wonderful, I love it," that's not real world feedback. That's our friend being nice to us. Nothing is as empowering as real world validation, even if it's for failure. The first professional writing job I ever had, after 17 years of trying, was on a movie called King Kong Lives. I and my partner at the time, Ron Shusett, brilliant writer and producer, also did Alien and Total Recall, hammered out the screenplay for Dino De Laurentiis. We loved it. We were sure we had a hit. Even after we'd seen the finished film, we were certain it was a blockbuster. We invited everyone we knew to the premiere, even ran out the joint next door for a post-triumph blowout. Get there early. We warned our friends. The place will be mobbed. Nobody showed. There was only one guy in line beside our guests, and he was muttering something about spare change. In the theater, our friends endured the movie in mute stupefaction. When the lights came up, they fled like cockroaches into the night. Next day came the review in Variety. Ronald Shusett and Stephen Pressfield, we hope these are not their real names for their parents' sake. When the first week's grosses came in, the flick barely registered. Still, I clung to hope. Maybe it's only tanking in urban areas. Maybe it's playing better in the burbs. I motored to an Edge City multiplex. A youth manned the popcorn booth. "How's Kiko Lives?" I asked. Flash thumbs down. "Miss it, man. Sucks." I was crushed. Here I was, 42 years old, divorced, childless, having given up all normal human pursuits to chase the dream of being a writer. Now I finally got my name on a big-time Hollywood production starring Linda Hamilton, and what happens? I'm a loser, a phony. My life is worthless. And so am I. My friend Tony Keppelman snapped me out of it by asking if I was going to quit. Hell no. I'd be happy. You're where you wanted to be, aren't you? They're taking a few blows. That's a price for being in the arena and not on the sidelines. Stop complaining. Be grateful. That was when I realized I had become a pro. I had not yet had a success. I had had a real failure. For love of the game. To clarify a point about professionalism. The professional, though he accepts money, does his work out of love. He has to love it. Otherwise, he wouldn't devote his life to it of his own free will. The professional has learned, however, that too much love can be a bad thing. Too much love can make him choke. The seeming detachment of the professional, the cold-blooded character to his demeanor, is a compensating device to keep him from loving the game so much that he freezes in action. Playing for money, or adopting the attitude of one who plays for money, lowers the fever. Remember what we said about fear, love, and resistance. The more you love your art, calling, enterprise, the more important its accomplishment is to the evolution of your soul, the more you will fear it, and the more resistance you will experience facing it. The payoff of playing the game for money is not the money, which you may never see anyway, even after you turn pro. The payoff is that playing the game for money produces the proper professional attitude. The payoff is that playing the game for money produces the proper professional attitude. Remember the payoff of playing the game for money is not the money. It inculcates the lunch pail mentality, the hardcore, hard head, hard hat state of mind that shows up for work despite rain or snow or dark of night and slugs it out day after day. The writer is an infantryman. He knows that progress is measured in yards of dirt extracted from the enemy 1 day, 1 hour, 1 minute at a time and paid for in blood. The artist wears combat boots. He looks in the mirror and sees G.I. Joe. Remember, the muse favors working stiffs. She hates prima donnas. To the gods, the supreme sin is not rape or murder, but pride. To think of yourself as a mercenary, a gun for hire, implants the proper humility. It purges pride and preciousness. Resistance loves pride and preciousness. Resistance says, show me a writer who's too good to take job X or assignment Y, and I'll show you a guy I can crack like a walnut. Technically, the professional takes money. Technically, the pro plays for pay. But in the end, he does it for love. Now let's consider, what are the aspects of the professional?